God, I've never felt more. I feel like Alabama out of conference right now. You've got no shot. That was one of my great arguments ever. Go ahead.
You're right, because clearly KD picked the Warriors because he wants to be able to send his unborn child to Stanford in 20 years. That's because he wants to be near Silicon Valley. Listen, I once upon a time got this wrong as well.
Okay.
I was filling in for you on the 4th of July when Durant picked the Warriors.
Yeah.
And I made the argument a lot of people have made, which was, hey, people don't get mad when Colin leaves the other place to come here. We all like to leave for greener pastures. When a Microsoft guy goes to Apple, when a Yahoo guy goes to Google, it's fine. Why would it be different? And then I realized how stupid I sound because those industries are not based on the concept of competition. It is not about, we don't care if Google has every great product. We just want the great products. We are not invested in, we need Apple to win a quarter and then Microsoft to win a quarter. We just want the best products. Sports are about competition. And the reason that I realized I was wrong about KD, and the reason I'm disappointed in what has happened with KD, is not because he should have been loyal, but because his decision, unlike any of the decisions that you've referenced as comparisons, eliminated contenders and didn't create any new ones. Kevin Durant could have gone to Washington. That creates a new contender. That's fun. Could have gone to Boston. That creates a new contender. That's fun. Could have gone to Minnesota. That creates a soon-to-be contender with Karl-Anthony Towns and Wiggins. That's fun. Instead, he went to a team that was already a contender because he adds that level of talent to that team and they don't have to make a tough decision on Harrison Barnes. Other teams that were close become also rans, and a league that it's an entertainment business based on the idea of competition. It's all been a 7-month preamble to can LeBron beat these guys. That's not fun.
Okay, time out. You're using the word fun. Going to the mall is fun. Mm-hmm. Going to work is work. This is not fun for Kevin Durant. This is work. This is his professional legacy.
Would you have been okay if LeBron left last year? LeBron was a free agent. What if LeBron and KD both went there to sign the minimum? They both want to be in Silicon Valley. They both want to be around all this fun stuff. And guess what? I'm going to shoot a higher percentage. Work's going to be easier. And I'm going to win a bunch of rings. What's the level? Could LeBron have gone there? Would you have been okay with it?
Wouldn't have loved it.
Okay. So, but the second best player in the world can do it? And we're good with it? Oh, guys, but LeBron went from Cleveland. LeBron is a one-man dynasty.
Yeah.
When he left Cleveland, they no longer were a contender. Miami wasn't a contender before they became one. That's a zero-sum game. KD didn't add any interest to the league. He stripped the league of it. And if LeBron didn't exist at this peak level we're seeing, this whole year would feel awful. The only reason it's okay for the average fan is because deep down, even the people that hate LeBron know, well, he could still win. That's the only reason this year feels all right.
But it's okay for owners to be... See, I go back to this. I blame the owners. We always blame the players. So the owners, because they get an expansion fee, they want more teams. So it creates a third of all these leagues that none of the star players want to play in. Nobody wants to play in Buffalo. Nobody wants to play in New Orleans. I got nothing against New Orleans. It's a great city. But you put into Memphis and you put into Sacramento, and you did that for the expansion fee. And so the rich owners, Dan Gilbert, by the way, I have this somewhere. My staff did a great job this morning. When Clay Bennett left Seattle, do you know who lobbied the other owners? Dan Gilbert. So it's okay for billionaire.
No, it's not. There are a lot of things you can convince me to do. Sit here and defend the pro sports owner ain't one of them. What they did to Seattle was shameful. The way they won't put a team there because they want to hold other cities hostage to get fees for arenas because, we'll move you to Seattle. It's shameful. However, moving Seattle, the Sonics, to Oklahoma City doesn't change the competitive nature of the sport. It doesn't change the viewability of the sport if you live in Atlanta or New Orleans. It sucks if you live in Seattle. It's great if you live in Oklahoma City. I don't watch sports because I expect loyalty. I don't watch sports because I expect owners to do the right thing. I watch sports because I know in the NBA, once we get down to the Final Four, sometimes the Final Eight, but usually the Final Four, we're going to have really good competitive series. But we're not, because one guy changed the balance of power.
College sports are largely based on, why do we celebrate, are we placating women? We celebrate Gino Auriemma's dominance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just pom-poms.
Okay.
We never once go, this ain't great for the sport. So we celebrate Ohio State and great recruiting class. In college sports is all about dominance. The best teams get the best recruiting classes. So we're totally comfortable in the college atmosphere of utter dominance. The top 10 in football today looks like it did in 1958. It's the same damn teams except Oregon.
Oh.
And so we're okay with that. But in pro sports dominance, the Lakers, so this is the Warriors' third straight time to the finals, first time they've done it. Lakers did it 6 times. Yeah. So why is this bad and the Lakers' dominance bad? Great.
What would have been bad is if the Lakers had gone out and signed Larry Bird. That's what would have been bad. I don't mind dominance. The NBA is a league built on dynastic teams, excellence.
Yeah.
This team won 73 games. They were already there. And I do not begrudge another man his ability as a grown man or grown woman to make a decision that he thinks best for him and his family, whatever. But I ain't got to like it. And the idea that Kevin Durant went out and did an article with the Undefeated, and he was like, I was surprised. I was shocked that, the vitriol. Do you know what you do for a living? What you do for a living, it's all make-believe. Everything we talk about is make-believe. It's compelling because it's the best in the world competing. And if this summer Chris Paul signs with them, and if next summer Giannis signs with them, and it's like, hey, who cares? We're rich on the shoe deals anyway. We just want to win rings. All of a sudden, the competition goes away. Now, thankfully, LeBron's going to beat him in 5 anyway, so it ain't going to matter. But it's still frustrating right now.
Okay, I didn't win that by as much as I thought I would. It takes more than a roof to make sure your home is covered. Farmers Insurance, 89 years of knowledge. Learn more at farmers.com. Okay, what is LeBron's loss from Sunday? What does it mean?
It means the greatest streak in NBA history is over. LeBron, going into Sunday's game, what's the longest winning streak in NBA playoff history? 13, that's the one LeBron was on. What's the longest streak of at least 25 points on 50% shooting? 10 games, that's the one LeBron was on. What's the longest streak of at least 30 points scored in a playoff game consecutively in one playoffs? 8. It's the one LeBron was on. LeBron had to end at some point. From the moment Draymond Green slapped at his undercarriage and Klay Thompson said he was all in his feelings, LeBron ripped off the greatest stretch of basketball we've ever seen from anyone.
That's indisputable.
And the numbers say it. Since from that moment until Sunday night, he was giving you 35, 10, and 8 on 54% shooting. It's never been done. Meanwhile, during that stretch, greatest comeback ever in the finals, won a road game 7, won a finals MVP, 2 sweeps. So that's what it means. It means that ended. What does it mean big picture? It means the Cavs, last year and the year before, they played 2 games over the minimum before getting to the finals. This year, they're going to have to play 1 game over the minimum. LeBron played a bad playoff game. There's no arguing that. People get disoriented by LeBron's bad games, not only because they're so rare, but because he's so rare in that, listen, Michael Jordan was down 0-2 in a conference finals, down 0-2, and in game 3 was 3 for 18. His team won it anyway.
Knicks.
But exactly right. People are used to the Kobe Bryant 3 for 19 through the first 3 quarters of game 7 of the finals. They're used to the great player struggling, and you can tell he's struggling because he's just shooting and missing, shooting and missing. It's disorienting from LeBron, because if he ain't got it, he's just going to pass the ball. And we're used to guys being awful because they shoot 18%, not because they shoot the ball 12 times. LeBron was bad. It is, though, what is the most noteworthy thing to me other than the streak about what happened with LeBron is, if you watch the coverage of it, Colin, it was the best evidence yet that LeBron has gotten what he's always wanted. LeBron has always wanted to be in the argument for greatest player ever. just 11 months ago when his team was down 3-1, we all thought that story was dead for good. What was the reaction to LeBron's first bad playoff game in 3 years? Everyone brings up Michael. That means LeBron won. That means if your first reaction is, what about Michael, what about Michael? He gets what he wants.
Yeah, here's Gottlieb's outrageous tweet. Everybody has a bad night. Jordan never disappeared like Getnick, Wright, Colin Cowherd, whatever. Basically, Gottlieb's saying he disappeared. I've always argued this. They're different human beings. You would hate playing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the guy at the Y that goes 0 for 12 and won't stop shooting. You would love playing with LeBron. Oh, stars off. He's passing.
I said this to Doug in person in the cafeteria earlier, so I'm going to say it again. Here's the deal. And I love Doug. Doug, I'm so glad we hired him, and this isn't taking a shot, but it's a little bit of a shot. Doug, the only sports argument Doug makes that isn't an intellectual one and is an emotional one
is this
one. It's for two reasons. One, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and Michael Jordan is tied up in Doug's youth and childhood, and Doug and his family are so tied to basketball. And the other one is the things Doug was great at are the things Jordan was great at. Doug was amazingly precise with his footwork. He was amazingly technical, a great competitor. Doug doesn't love the guys who are just bigger and stronger than everyone, because when he played ball, he wasn't bigger and stronger than everyone. You like the guys that remind you of yourself.
No kid, that's why I like you so much.
No
You're
doubt.
so smart.
Thank you, Colin. So, yeah. I mean, so listen, that's fine. You're right. I mean, we can play that game. The idea that, Jordan never disappeared like that, and we can just make believe. We can pretend that when Jordan, in the closeout game of the NBA Finals in 1996, when the Bulls go up 3-0, 72-win Bulls, George Karl, the brilliant coach George Karl, doesn't have Gary Payton guard Jordan for the first 3 games of the series. Game 4, he's like, hey, Gary, why don't you go ahead and we'll try that.
Jordan's terrible.
Terrible. He was terrible the final 3 games of that series. He shot 30%, but he shot the ball 62 times, so people are like, he didn't disappear. No, they are different guys. One guy happens to be better. You and I agree on who that guy is. But by what's going to happen in the series, I mean, the Cavs will win tonight in a day and a half.
Yeah, they will. I wish we had time for the other one. That was very deep on Doug Gottlieb. That was.
Doug knows I love him. Doug's a mentor
what
of mine.
you basically said is that Doug doesn't like the big, stronger guys. He likes the grinders, and Jordan was a grinder because Doug was a grinder.
Absolutely.
Right. That's why I have always resented FM DJs with huge voices named Sky Bannister, because I always slurred. So I always liked guys like Paul Harvey, who told great stories, and Vin Scully, the guy that was like 97.5 Clovis, New Mexico's best rock, and had a perfect hair. I'd be like, I hope that guy drives into a pole.
It's shocking to listeners and viewers that you and I have an extra respect for the smart guy that's a little funny looking with an odd voice. It's just totally out of this world.
There's so many great things happening here. One of them is Nick and Chris Carter and somebody else, but I'm not going to get into it, are going to have a new show at this network really soon.